Alright guys, welcome back. I know I am very late to the party, but we have a lot of new stuff to talk about that I want to do in this video. Unfortunately, on Friday morning, this update came out, and there I was already on my way to the EU WCQ World Championship qualifiers and the TCG, where I was over the weekend in Berlin. This is why I couldn't react to this when it came out, basically, but we have some very interesting stuff here that I want to go through. The main thing, obviously, being this Banlist here that foreshadows a very important meta deck, but we will talk about this in a second. We firstly have two new August or two new events in the August. We have the Synchro Cup and the Theme Chronicle, which both of them we already have. Theme Chronicle is kind of like this Blue Eyes stuff and Dark Magician, so more like anime themed decks. And then Synchro Cup, obviously we play Synchros, which if I think about it, doesn't really go together with the decks that I think will come in the next pack, which they always basically have an event where you can play the new decks. But yeah, this would have been, or maybe should have been, an XYZ Cup, but I don't know, maybe this is foreshadowing. We don't know. We have new accessories and then a few new packs. Here we have a new secret pack, the Temper Dragon pack, which is very nice. I am really liking that they introduce these packs where you can buy or you can build the decks that are no longer in the shop. Super nice. Then we have Synchro Starlight, a new selection pack that we can quickly take a look at. I think the only thing that is in here is the new Black Rose Dragon, which is the old Black Rose Dragon, but with the new animation and the alternative artwork that you can pull from here. Also, the Clear Wings Synchro Dragon has a new animation and an alternative artwork, and Crimson Dragon also had one before. And there's also a Medallion of the Ice Barriers, also a new alternative artwork. We can also take a look at what else is in here. I think this should be it. And then there are some actually kind of nice synchro cards in here, like Chaos Angel, Psychic and Punisher, Dawn Dragster, Trishula, the Beast, Natura Beast, Crimson Dragon, and then, yeah, okay, these are a bit more specific here. So if you really want these alternative artworks, I think there are worse packs that you can pull from. But keep in mind that next week on Monday, where we will obviously stream the entire day, we will get a new selection pack, basically, which was foreshadowed by the Banlist announcement here. So upcoming Banlist, August 3rd, I will just spare you the going over each card as if I have not already seen them. I have seen them, obviously, and there's some interesting things here that I want to talk about. Yes, you might already have heard this, but this year, Gateway of the Six Samurai card going from 1 to 3 basically says as we get the rest of the 6 Samurai support. This was support that we were still missing for 6 Samurai, and a lot of people were waiting for this. This was kind of overdue from a set that we already basically had finished. So yeah, we are getting this here. I mean, obviously we could also not get it, but it would be very, very strange. And I think they will pair this more effective archetype that is foreshadowed by the Abyss Dweller ban together with this not so super relevant one like the Gateway of the Six. Like they have done with Malice, they combined Malice with, let me quickly check this in the shop, but we did the same thing with Malice, right? We combined this very strong archetype together with one of the weaker ones, which I think was, yeah, the Teddy support, and then also the Battle Wesp support. Both were not very impactful, but we had the Malice stuff in this pack, and I think they are basically doing the same thing with the August pack. We obviously will see within the next few days how the August pack will look like. Probably around Thursday or Friday we will have more information from the in-game client what is in this pack. But yeah, we have the foreshadowing of the 6 Samurai cards here with the Gateway of the 6 going from 1 to 3. Then we have number 6, 7 pair Dice Smasher. This is not being used as much right now. Memento can, for example, make it, but in the future this will be used by the K9 engine, especially in Vanquish Soul. This would be the next meta that comes after our Malice Ryzeal meta that we will be in most likely in August, but we will talk about this in a second here. But yeah, this is a very toxic card. Nice that they are banning it already before it makes too much problems. I think if only Memento at the moment plays it, it's fair, it's okay. But the K9 engine, which are level 5s, can more easily make this guy. If you're not aware of what this guy does, you basically make him with 3 materials, then he's most effective, and then you can activate him. You will roll 2 dice, so 2 dice for you, 2 dice for your opponent, and the person with the higher count, they cannot activate monster effects or declare an attack until the end of the next turn. And you also have the effect if you make him with 3 materials, and this is why you need to make him with 3 materials basically. You also have the option to basically change one of these results, so either one of your results or one of your opponent's results, the dice basically, to 6. You can treat it as one of the as a 7, yeah, which basically means that you can give your opponent a 7, and there is, I think, a 93% chance that with this outcome your opponent will not be able to activate monster effects and attack, which is why this is obviously a very very toxic card, kind of a floodgate that decks in the future will be making kind of easily. So it's nice that we already hit this guy here. Then we had Artifact Scythe going from 3 to 0. Ryzeal, for example, could set this and then destroy this with the detonator. Not sure if this would really happen. Not quite sure why we have this Artifact Scythe hit here, but I think I still have one, so yeah, I can decraft one. And then we have the Abyss Dweller, where unfortunately I decrafted one of my 2 Abyss Dwellers a while ago. But yeah, this is obviously the most important ban here. Why would you ban this? Not really any deck is making this right now, but there is a deck that will be making this quite consistently, which is obviously Ryzeal, the deck that we were guessing will come in August. And yes, this most likely means it will come. We won't pre-hit the Ryzeal engine, as it seems we want to get the full Ryzeal powered deck against the full Malice powered deck. I'm also assuming that we will get the entire Ryzeal support, as we have gotten the entire Malice support. Not cards like the Eclipse Twins, maybe we will have to see, but definitely all of the support cards. And yeah, Abyss Dweller can easily be made by Ryzeal, and this would then be a bit problematic because this is obviously very good against a lot of rogue decks, not against Malice. So we have this Ryzeal against Malice meta fight, and if you give Ryzeal the Abyss Dweller, then they can also be way more effective against stuff like Memento, against stuff like maybe Blue Eyes. They can summon the main then, for example. Against a lot of stuff, the entire Fiendsmith stuff is weaker against the Abyss Dweller, and all of this hinders any other deck that isn't Malice. So if you would not ban Abyss Dweller, then you would have this very intense Malice versus Ryzeal meta, where without the Abyss Dweller you have a lot of other decks, for example also Mermaid Atlantean, that can still battle against these 2 decks. So I think this is a very clever hit. They also have hit this in the TCG, I think not in the OCG, correct me if I'm wrong here, guys, but yeah, this is a very clever hit that obviously foreshadows the appearance of Ryzeal. And yeah, interesting this year. I definitely like this, especially the Abyss Dweller part and the Paradise Smasher part. Not sure about the Scythe, and as I'm not the biggest 6 Sam fan, I'm not sure whether Gateway of the 6 is an important hit, but if I remember this correctly, it is really good, because if you can establish multiple of these, you can get a lot of counters, and then you can make a lot of bodies happen or something like this. You are 6 Samurai fans in the comments, which I know that you are there, can let me know whether this is super impactful or not. Yeah, this is also an ultra rare, and yeah, this is what we have here. By the way, this I forgot to mention, it is coming, or the Banlist update is coming on August the 3rd, which would be the time where we get the new pack, which is next Monday, so get ready for this. And then also we have the latest episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Card Game Chronicles available here. They might want to restart some sort of anime here to better sell their products. Hopefully this works for them, honestly, for the health of the game. But yeah, an interesting update. I would say don't waste your gems on this reprint pack here, but keep it for Ryzeal. Ryzeal will be very strong, will be relevant for a while, will get cool support cards in the form of the Onomart cards and the Heraldic Beast cards. So this will also be relevant for a while, and we are basically in the Malice versus Ryzeal meta that we have been in the TCG in August, or this is not even like the meta that we had in August, because we have the entire Malice support already, and we will most likely get the entire Ryzeal support. So we will have a format that we did not have either in the OCG or TCG, which is very interesting, and I think this is very nice. I really like the fact that they create a bit of a different meta, even though we are kind of behind. But yeah, this is my opinion. Let me know in the comments what you think of this. But yeah, Ryzeal will most likely come. Let me know in the comments what you think of this. Enjoy your day, and we will see each other in the next one, guys.